That's how you bounce back, baby. Consistency.
They made a run, we answered. We stepped up to the challenge. Our defense, we were in there. We self-corrected when we needed to. All right, we communicated on the floor, multiple levels of effort. We were connected on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. I think that our team has enough offensive threats that we should have 5 to 6 people in double figures every single night when we move the ball. When the ball's popping, we're a really hard team to guard. Again, we have to be disciplined on defense. We can get easy buckets in transition, but I think offensively, when the ball is popping, we're a hard team to guard in the W.
The Indiana Fever were spiraling. 2 humiliating losses to teams they should have crushed. First to the LA Sparks, then to the Golden State Valkyries, left fans questioning everything. Was this season already doomed? Was the hype surrounding Caitlin Clark just noise? Was the team falling apart from the inside? Then came a showdown with the Atlanta Dream, and everything changed. But before we get to the miracle in Gainbridge Fieldhouse, let's rewind and break down the chaos that nearly tore this team apart. Clark had just returned from a groin injury, barely at 100%.
Man, I think that everyone saw that we kind of got some flow when Kate was hurt and our offense was clicking. But now we have to have a new offense when she's in there because she just brings that much to the game. And so we have to adjust. And I think all of us just want it now. We know what the potential of this team can be, but we can't think about that. You really have to take day to day and stuff that worked here, we need to carry it over to tomorrow's game. We have a lot of games coming up in I think like 7 days or whatnot, and so it's mentally making sure that we're good. It's physically making sure we're getting recovery, making sure we're taking care of our bodies off the court, but we're trying to figure it out, and I think you guys see it. I think we're all a little frustrated.
Dewana Bonner was still shaking off the rust, and Dantas had just rejoined the squad after national team duty with Brazil. The Fever weren't just out of sync, they were lost. Lineups were scrambled. Rotations that once clicked were suddenly dysfunctional. And more importantly, behind closed doors, friction was boiling.
Kind of alluded to it earlier, but how difficult has it been? Does it feel like you guys have had to toggle back and forth between identities with, like, Caitlin out, Caitlin's back, Caitlin out, now, back and forth sort of thing?
Yeah, and it's no one's fault. I mean, no one wants to see anyone injured, right? And it's when she is playing with us, we play a different style of basketball, and it's almost like 2 different teams, right? When she's with us, you play a different style. When she's hurt, which hopefully she's done being hurt, Lord, please hear us, and then we play a whole nother different style. But I do think that once we catch rhythm with her in, we're going to be really, really good. But we can't just keep saying it. You got to put your money where your mouth is.
Coach Stephanie White had a vision. Slow, methodical, control the tempo basketball. But Caitlin? She wanted to run. Fast-paced, high-octane, motion-heavy ball. She wanted to create, to slice defenses apart with her court vision. To let the offense breathe. That wasn't a small disagreement. That was a war over identity. And the tension? Oh, it was palpable.
I just love it. I really do think this is a really unique and special team. In the locker room, we really do love each other. Like, we love spending time together. Our practices, I'm not going to lie, are long. And sometimes we have to hold hands and be like, hey, we're going to get through it. Right. But this is a team that I have never felt like this in the W. And I've been in it for 7 years. I know you've been in it for 8, And so this is a special group that we have. And so when we can just go out there and have fun and be competitors and feed off of each other, it's just easy. And when people are smiling, like, you don't ever see Kels really get like that, but when we see her get like that, we're like, oh, yeah, like we're in it, you know what I mean? And when other teams see that, it's game over. And so we're our best when we're having fun.
During those 2 crushing losses, the team looked like 2 different squads, one with Clark on the floor and one without. No rhythm, no energy, no unity. Clark's shooting slump didn't help either. She was barely shooting 29% from the field and a brutal 11.4% from 3 over a 5-game stretch.
There were people at the game that have told me that this happened and they saw it. So, Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White were having a heated discussion at halftime.
Every missed shot, every bad rotation, it all added fuel to the fire. But the real drama wasn't what fans could see, it was what they couldn't. Reports began surfacing of heated exchanges between Caitlin Clark and Coach White during practices. Not casual debates, explosive strategy arguments. Players could hear them. Assistants were stepping in to de-escalate.
Word in the street is Caitlin Clark told White to sit Kelsey Mitchell and Howard because they don't pass. Could be true. Caitlin went to tie her shoe. Like, that is something that I noticed. Like, Caitlin literally, when When Natasha Howard had the ball, she didn't even look. She was basically walking back on defense. She essentially walked back on defense every time Natasha Howard had the ball. And by the way, if you guys didn't see Natasha Howard looked off Caitlin Clark to end the third quarter. She looked off Caitlin Clark to end the third quarter in what was just incredibly dumb.
The vibe? Toxic. And it was about to come to a head. That brings us to the Atlanta Dream game, a game that would either be remembered as the Fever's collapse or their rebirth. The first half? It was deja vu. Sloppy defense, forced shots, confused rotations. The Fever were stuck in the same nightmare they'd been living for weeks. But halftime changed everything. Sources close to the team reveal that Clark didn't stay silent in that locker room.
You can just hear what they have to say and connect the dots a little bit. Not to mention, it didn't go well against the Golden State Valkyries. That was obvious to everybody, of course. Just a rough performance from the Fever. And on its own, that wouldn't be that big a deal. Clark just back, getting her acclimated, all those things. But it's these repeated statements or this issue that seems to be lingering under the surface when it comes to the team's offensive identity that is interesting.
She stepped up, not as a rookie, not as a superstar, but as a leader. And she didn't sugarcoat it. She called out specific issues with the offense. She questioned rotations. Most shockingly, she reportedly told Coach White to sit both Kelsey Mitchell and Naz Hillman, players who Clark felt were disrupting ball movement and ignoring passing lanes. This wasn't a suggestion. This was a challenge. Voices were raised. Players could hear the argument from across the room. It was loud. It was real. And it was risky.
Dribble penetration has been an issue for Indiana in defending that. They got to do a better job of guarding the ball and not worrying about the action.
A hot, cold season for the Fever defensively as Mitchell slashes home a three. Here going in the first half. Jones, that's the handle underneath. Still 6 of 10 from the three-point line. Jordan Canada here tonight. Mitchell turns the corner, gets inside, bounces. Howard and flips it in.
Coach White stood at a crossroads. She could double down on her philosophy, or she could swallow her pride and trust Clark's on-court instincts. She chose to listen. When the Fever took the floor in the second half, it was like a different team showed up. Clark started pushing the pace. The ball zipped around the court like lightning. Screens were sharper. Cuts were cleaner. Players like Aaliyah Boston and Nalissa Smith suddenly came alive with the space they needed to dominate the paint. And the Fever didn't just beat the dream.
Look, Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White clearly like and respect one another, right? But that doesn't mean they always see eye to eye. And I am beginning to suspect more and more that there's a bit of a divide between the way that they see the game and the way that they think the Indiana Fever should play.
They demolished them. Final score, 99-82. That wasn't just a win. That was a resurrection. A warning shot to the entire league that the Fever weren't dead, they were just getting started. But it gets deeper. Because this game wasn't just about strategy or stats. It was about healing. That halftime argument wasn't dysfunction, it was truth. If you're passionate about real basketball talk, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, leave a comment, and share with fellow fans, because your support keeps the game alive.